This is Mr. Curtis's third period world history, and this is Riot Reviews!
Thanks World History for that lovely shout. It's a very patriotic week in the wake of our Veterans Day holiday last Monday. I hope you thanked a veteran for their service to country. That must mean today is November 13th, and I'm Sean.
And I'm Isaac. Thanksgiving is right around the corner here at Port Angeles High School, and there's a whole lot of things for us to be thankful for. Our girls soccer team had such an amazing season, and the fall play Anne of Green Gables opens this Friday. But before we get too carried away, let's start things off with our focus on climate change. As you know, this year we've been focusing on the subject of climate change, and this week, rather than normal, we are changing things up and are going to join Delfonso as he searches out what we can do about climate change.
Many teachers and students are supporting the cause, planting trees and making sure to do their part with recycling. But is there more we can be doing? Ever since the assembly last week, we've been exploring how the students of Port Angeles High School can really affect this critical issue.
Hi, my name's Delfonso, and in responding to the assembly that we just recently had, we thought that we're done talking about climate change, and we're done talking about what it is. So, why keep on talking about the problem when we could try to talk about the solution? This week's episode is going to include me asking around and finding answers to this great problem that we have in our world. And hopefully, let's hope that we find some good answers. Hi, Mr. Logan.
How's it going, Delfonso?
It's going all right.
Great.
Now, we heard that you and a whole bunch of other students have been planting trees. Now, a good question for this segment is, how does planting trees help us with climate change?
Well, trees pull out carbon dioxide of the atmosphere, and they convert it into tree growth. So planting more trees will pour more carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere.
Now, amongst the topic of nature and trees and such, what is your favorite place? What is your happy place to go out in nature?
You know, I'm really fortunate. I live at that happy place. I live on the Elwha River on 25 acres. It is actually a nature preserve. And so just going outside and walking around on my own property next to the Elwha River is my happy place. But in addition, the Olympic Mountains. I love the Olympic Mountains. I go out to Olympic Mountains. I'm going this weekend to hike in the Olympic Mountains. That is also my happy place.
Well, that sounds quite beautiful. Now, another good question is, what changes, what adaptations have you made to your lifestyle to help us fight climate change?
Great, that is a good question. And I think adaptation will be the key. We can do lots of things to mitigate it, but we will have to adapt to what is happening. So some major adaptations I take in my own life is I try to shop local and buy local food as much as I can. I tend to only eat meat once or twice a week. So I just had some fabulous soup made by Miss Brado, and that'll probably be the last time I eat meat this week because meat does have a very large carbon footprint. This winter, I'm going to my in-laws, which live in Chicago. So to have a smaller carbon footprint, we are driving there this winter instead of flying.
We are planting trees to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
Also, they give off oxygen.
The cycle is photosynthesis.
Thank you for joining me on this week's Climate Change with Delfonso. Hopefully, I hope you learned about some possible ways that we can change everything, change the climate for better, to help this world and to help each other. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much, Delfonso, for making it your personal mission to find out exactly how students here at Port Angeles High School can help save this planet.
Now let's turn our focus on one of the most popular spots here on campus, our DECA Student Store. This is where we go to get your daily snack fix, but they also have so much more. Let's check out our incredible Rough Rider store.
My favorite thing to order at the DECA Store is the Black Cherry Rider Refresher.
My favorite thing from the DECA Store is the quesadillas.
My favorite thing to order at the DECA Store is a peach refresher.
My favorite thing to order at the DECA Store is quesadillas.
Alright, my favorite thing to order at the DECA Store is a quesadilla and a Gatorade.
My favorite thing to order at the DECA Store is chocolate chip cookie.
I love the music. I love the music at the DECA Store.
Thank you to all the students and staff that bring our student store to life. I know I'm going to shop there at lunch and check out everything they have. Now, on to our next subject.
You've probably heard the students who win monthly awards announced on the bulletin, but our news team wanted to speak with a few of them, as well as the teachers behind these prestigious awards and what it takes to get on that bulletin shout-out.
I did get the academic award. I got it because I had gotten 100 on everything in Spanish. I study, I pay attention, science, you just really have to think about things and read the questions, you can't just skim. I mean, I don't study that much, I mostly just pay attention in the class and then look over my notes, check in, go through my tests, all that.
Okay, here at Port Angeles High School, we like to recognize student success in multiple ways. And so every month you're going to hear Mr. Clark get on in the intercom and he's going to announce some awards. And one of those awards is an academic award. And that's for students who get A's or B's in all their classes, and at least one of their teachers has recognized the exceptional work that they're doing in that class. All teachers get to nominate a student each month. Mr. Clark picks one from the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior classes. The next award is called the Teddy Roosevelt Award. And that is for demonstrating these characteristics: the right of way, respect, integrity, determination, engagement, and responsibility. So you don't have to be getting all A's and B's, but you have to be working hard in your classes. You have to be passing all of your classes, and you have to show the right of way. The third award comes from departments, and each department gets to give a monthly award. Like for science, our science student of the month for September was Taylor Bloomfield. Every department gets to name a student. Eventually, you will see their names and pictures on a screen down in the foyer of the 100 building. We're replacing that old-fashioned sign with a nice screen, and you'll see their pictures and their names on that screen.
That's something that all Rough Riders should strive for. Hopefully you will hear your name announced for an award this year and have your picture put up in the Student Center.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Rider News. We are going to leave you with another teacher spotlight. This time we are visiting Mr. Rodall, our new orchestra teacher. He hasn't wasted any time jumping into the mix here at PAHS and even winning some awards of his own. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you on the next episode of Rider News.
It's certainly a lot. There are a lot of students and there are very high expectations. Some new teachers come in to an orchestra position where maybe there hasn't been an orchestra teacher for a while, or maybe they didn't care for the last teacher very much, but that's not the case here. I think Mr. Ray and Mr. Jones were both really well liked and were very good at what they did, so I've got a lot of responsibility coming in following them and to live up to their standards. Well, we did pretty well. The Mercer Island Festival has been going on for 33 years now, and the only two schools that have played all 33 years in the festival are the hosting group, Mercer Island, and Port Angeles, because back in the day, Mr. Jones and Miss White, the teacher over at Mercer Island, started this competition together so that orchestras would have a non-competitive experience at the beginning of the year. That being said, at the end of the day, the judges get together and invite 3 groups back to perform that they think were exceptional. And we played last out of those 3, which is typically reserved for the group that the judges liked best. So I think being invited back to play that premiere encore performance was certainly an indicator that the students performed well. And just from my own perspective, I mean, we had to get on a bus and go all the way to Bainbridge and take a ferry, and there were lots of opportunities for things to go wrong, and I think the students really held it together.